That was a reminder that one in the many. So it was a very nice experience after absorbing the details of Vibhuti Yoga. This year, when we looked at the Vammakolu, it had a different message, a more live message. Now, it was as though we were in a universal temple. We have entered a universal temple in the 10th chapter. We were doing the parikrama. So we saw many divine forms of power points through which Bhagavan's Vibhuti was oozing out into the world, making the world what it is. So very beautiful. Before we enter into the Sanctum Sanctorum, which is the 11th chapter, earlier in the Parikrama, we have seen some of them just as power centers, some in personified form. In some, Krishna was pinpointing his energy points. Like that, we had varied experiences. Actually, after each lesson, you should go through the Bhagavad Gita, that particular chapter and its meaning, because it is not possible to condense the whole Bhagavad Gita chapter in one lecture. So we have had very beautiful experience of Vibhuti Yoga. Now we are going to enter the Sanctum Sanctorum. But before that, in many of the temples there are Upadevatas whom we worship. So we saw some of them there, but still I feel we have to do a little more prostrations. Unless we do that, the full implication of the 11th chapter, Vishwarupa Darshana, may not enter into us. So let us do with a very humble prayer some prostrations before we enter the Sanctum Sanctorum. First and foremost, let us prostrate before the great seers of India, who, through direct meditation, Kaschidhiraha Pratyagatmanamaikshat, they were able to really enter into the truth of their being, the final, ultimate truth. So let us prostrate to all those great seers. Then there were many great sages, rishis, munis, who thought the erring man cannot understand this ultimate truth. So let us make stories out of them without losing the essence of it. They made stories in Puranas and Idihasas, like sage Valmiki, Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, so on and so forth. Vyasa Bhagavan, of course. So let us prostrate to those great sages, but for them, we could not have come anywhere near this great temple at all. And last but not the least, we have to make some more prostrations to those great scientists like Albert Einstein, Heisenberg, so on and so forth, innumerable modern scientists, as well as philosophers like Julian Huxley, for trying to understand the Indian spiritual science, and through their understanding, replenished the scientific concepts of today's material science and bring it nearer to the threshold of Indian spiritual science. So these are the three groups I felt we should take their blessings before we enter into the sanctum sanctorum. You see, when you give a toy to a child to play with, he is very happy. But after some time, he wants to break it open to see how it is working. It is clapping its hands, it is moving his eyes. But how is it all possible? He wants to break open the toy and see it. Similarly, Arjuna's curiosity after visualizing the power centers in the Vibhuti Yoga discussion, he wanted to see the actual functioning of these great masters, personalities, divine beings, who control the functions and create this universal parasparya. With great humility, Arjuna puts before Krishna, prays to him to reveal to him the cause behind the effect, the masterminds who manage the multitude of his universal family departments and their interactions which create the universal parasparya. Arjuna knows that it is a very, very impossible request he is making. So humbly he adds, Krishna, I would like to see it, but of course I know my weaknesses, my incapacity to hold on to this vision. So in case you think it is possible for me to visualize this, Krishna, please be kind enough to show me, Krishna, you are that wonderful universal form. Here, Arjuna has come as a spokesman for the whole humanity. But for Arjuna's request, we could not have requested Krishna for such a show. He would not have bothered also to answer to us. But Vyasa, on behalf of the humanity, made Arjuna put a prayer to Sri Krishna, oh Lord, if it be possible, if I am worthy of that vision, please, Krishna, show me that wonderful, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent form of yours. Thus requested, slowly, the finite form of Sri Krishna started expanding and filling up the whole area. It touched the sky. It filled up all the quarters. There was nothing left there. Such an amazing spectacle. World had never seen it before. But even in the Mahabharata context, war context, world must have seen it. Of course, it was shown to Arjuna, so Arjuna has really seen it. Vyasa had given the gift of divine vision to Sanjaya, so he must have seen it. Probably Bhishma Pitamaha, who was standing in front and listening to the divine dialogue, probably he has seen it too. Did Hanuman, who was on the flag of Arjuna, did he wake up from his meditation on Sri Rama to have a glimpse of this? We don't know. Probably he would have. Anyway, within seconds of Sri Krishna deciding to show the Vishwarupa, the whole atmospheric gallery was filled with all the divine forms, Devas, Gandharvas, Kinnaras, everybody, because the great Rishi Narada, he had very quickly sent a WhatsApp message to each and every one of them. Come, something grand is going to take place. Don't waste your time. Don't worry about your makeup or dress or code of conduct. Nothing. Come, hurry up, hurry up. Fill up the place. No empty seat anywhere. Fill up the whole area. So the whole atmospheric gallery was filled with divine forms. And Krishna started evolving into this universal form. And we don't know because we cannot even imagine in our mind such a form. Anyway, let us see how Sanjaya explains it. Sanjaya was also standing by and observing what is happening so that he has to report it to Dhritarashtra. Sanjaya also suddenly saw Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhaved Yugapaduttita Yadi Bhasadrishi Sasya Bhasastasya Mahatmana. If 1,000 suns were to blaze forth together in the sky, they would not match the splendor of that great form of Sri Krishna. It was blazing light. Our great Narayana Bhattati, the author of Narayaniyam, after completing 99 chapters of Narayaniyam, he could get rid of the rheumatic ailment, and he was looking at the Sri Krishna's Vigraha in the Guruvayur temple. Suddenly he found Agre Pashyami Tejo Nibidadaragalaya Valilobhaniyam. First he sees the immense Prabha, the light, the Prakasha, Divi Surya Sahasrasya. Even one sun, we cannot look at him except in the early morning or late evening. Surya Sahasrasya. So the whole world, who could have kept their eyes open to see this? That is how the first vision comes. At this point, this particular sloka has got a modern connotation. When the atomic scientist Robert Oppenheimer, he was watching the explosion of the first atom bomb over Hiroshima from far, far, far away from a plane. He wanted to describe it to the world. He searched for some words, some expressions he couldn't get. But suddenly from his mind came this Gita stanza. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhave Jugapaduttida Yadi Bhasadrishi Sasya Bhasastasya Mahatmana. Now let us compare what Oppenheimer saw, the atomic explosion which led to the death and destruction of thousands and thousands of human beings, animals, plants, and earth itself. The effects of which are continuing to torment the world. That is the science contribution. And what is Krishna's contribution? This divine universal form, projected by Sri Krishna thousands of years ago, is still a source of wonder, inspiration, and insight, leading to prayerful submission of millions of Hindus. In fact, my first acquaintance with Bhagavad Gita started by getting by heart this particular 16 or 17 slokas by which Arjuna prays to Sri Krishna. Pashyami devam stava deva dehe sarvam statha bhuta vishesha samkhan brahmanamesham kamalasanastam rishimsha sarvan viragamsha divyan. That is how Arjuna starts. When the prakasha became, when it became possible for the eyes to see through that wonderful blazing light, he could locate whatever was there in that form. Which other spiritual tradition could have dared such a universal presentation of unity in diversity, transcending space, time, cause and effect, condensing the whole universe into one, and the one expanding into many, all going on simultaneously. Aham brahmasmi to ishavasyamidam sarvam. Nowhere but in the Bhagavad Gita can we find such a universal canvas depicting not only forms but also actions, simultaneous creation, dissolution, with everything in between. No wonder Arjuna lost himself in the immensity and the immeasurability of that vision. All he could do was to fall at the feet of Sri Krishna, and words automatically started pouring out of his mind. We can only try to capture what Arjuna, through the praises Arjuna made about Krishna's Rupa. Through that only we can understand, just as I read now, Brahmanam Isham Kamalasanastam Rishimsha Sarvan Viragamsha. Everything was covered, starting from Brahma, Isha, Rishis, Viragas, everybody you can think of as part of creation, they were all there. All the vibhudis which he had heard earlier, they were all presented there, convincing Arjuna of the oneness and parasparya of which Sri Krishna had elaborated in his earlier discussion. As he watched, Arjuna saw to his great surprise not only the army of Kauravas, but also that of Pandavas, wandering into the death trap of the Lord's mouth and getting crushed there. Arjuna's prayerful submissions are the only clues we get out of this unusual heavenly spectacle. Immediate effect of Arjuna seeing all this: birth on one side, death on one side. Creator on one side, destroyer on the other side. All sorts of ornaments you could think of They were all presented there. All sorts of weapons, missiles you could think of. They were all held by these gods in their hands. He could not bear that sight. He cries out, "Oh Krishna, who are you? Ugra Rupa, this sort of a Rupa of yours, I have never seen. I'm afraid. I'm shivering with fear. Please, Krishna, come back. Enough of this spectacle. Come back to your old self." Vishwarupa. When we hear that, we remember Mother Yashoda. How one day she asked Krishna whether he had eaten mud, earth. Krishna says, "No, Mama, I don't have that habit. This brother of mine and my friends, they are always talking ill about me to you, isn't it? You see yourself, can you find out one particle of soil in my mouth? Here, come, Mama, come." And he opens the mouth. And there Mother Yashoda saw the whole universe with herself and Krishna standing there face to face. Was it a dress rehearsal Krishna was practicing? Or again in the Kaurava royal Sabha, just before the war, when Krishna went as a messenger, that crooked Duryodhana wanted to tie him up. At that moment, Krishna developed his gigantic Vishwarupa form, and Duryodhana and others, they could not look at him, they all fell down, and Krishna coolly walked out of the Rajya Sabha. That was another Vishwarupa. But those were nothing when compared to this Vishwarupa, which took place in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. As a blessing to Arjuna for his humility, for his surrender, for his shishyatva, for his love, the gift Krishna felt that he could give to his friend to make him once again the warrior, to remove the klaibhya from him, to remove the karpanya doshas from him. Out of that immense love for his Arjuna, Krishna considered to show this cosmic form of his. Arjuna felt so thrilled. He felt exalted. And Arjuna was thinking, how is it Krishna found me worthy of this vision? His mind went back. Maybe as Naranarayana, we were together. Does he remember all that? Or is it from the very beginning of creation, the Jivatma Paramatma Aikya is that which is dominating in Krishna's mind? Anyway, through this vision, he has made me realize the meaningful idea of his. Yomam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mai pashyati, tasyaham na pranashyami, sachame na pranashyati. Yes, now I understand. There is not even an iota of material, no being in this whole universe which is not reflecting the vibration of this great master craftsman, this master magician. He bows before him. He remembers Sarva bhuteshu yenaikyam bhavam avyayamikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu Vibhaktam ivisidam. He understood the meaning of the true knowledge. That knowledge which see avibhaktam vibhakteshu tajnanam sattvigam vidhi sattvigam. That knowledge to be in the mode of goodness by which a person sees the undivided, imperishable reality within all diverse living beings. To make me understand this simple, elementary, universal truth, the amount of strain Krishna has taken. Oh God, how can I thank you for this? At this moment, Krishna wants to remind him that don't be enchanted by these forms of mind. There is another version. Kalosmi lokakshekrit pravruddho lokan samahartumiha pravrutta. Look, Arjuna, this is all right for you to worship, but I am not that alone. Please remember, I am that great time. I am that great time. For what I have come? To consume this whole universe when it goes out of tune with dharma. Ritepi tvam na bhavishyanti sarve evastita pratyanikeshu yodha. Arjuna, I want you to understand, all these yodhas whom you are seeing in their fighting mood, ready to kill each other, ready to take the honor of being an archer or a great yodha, maharatha, adhiratha. All of them will be destroyed by me. Not a single person. Ritepi tvam. Without, before, and other than you, nobody will survive. Didn't you see how the Pandava Sainya and Kaurava Sainya are entering into my mouth? Because Kalosmi lokakshekrit pravruddha. I am that Kala, time, which removes everything, which wipes out, cleans the universe when the time is up for them to remove. Are you satisfied, Arjuna, now? No more klaibbya should be in you. All that comes because you think you are the doer. Remember, kalosmi lokakshekrit pravruddha. You are not the doer. You are only being my instrument to work out my idea, work out my plan of action, work out my plan of distractions of all those who are aiding the adharma will be removed from the face of the earth. Don't be worried, Arjuna. Now I tell you, tasmat tvamuttishta yasho labhasva jitva shatrun bhunksha rajyam samruddham mayevaite nihata purvameva nimittamatram bhavasavyasajim. Therefore, Arjuna, arise, attain the honor. The honor is waiting for you. Because of Arjuna, the Kurukshetra war was won by the Pandavas. Conquer your foes and enjoy the prosperous rulership. Jitva Shatrun, Bhunksha, the world which, the Rajya which is going to come to you after this war, enjoy it because it's the fruit of your action. Enjoy it. But remember, nimitta matram bhavasavyasache. After all the warriors are going to be annihilated, and you remain there as my instrument. This is we can say, the most important advice Krishna gives to Arjuna, and through Arjuna to the entire humanity. Kalosmi. Nobody can stand against the whims and fancies of time. We know a small, tiny corona, the horror it has created all over the world. Kalosmi. And we have finished our Navaratri celebrations. And we have read in how many forms the Atharma tried to imprint themselves in this universe. And it was Devi herself who took various forms and annihilated them. So, Kalosmi, we need not be afraid at all. When the Adharma has come to a point, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata, abhyuttanam adharmasya tad atmanam srijamya. Bhagavan is there. Only thing is, we must know how to surrender ourselves, rooted in Satya and Dharma. That is what we have to remember. As we work, all glory, name, and fame will come to us. We have only to surrender ourselves to be the instruments, nimitta matram, instruments in Almighty's hands. Hearing these words, Arjuna somewhat regained his senses and again prostrated before Sri Krishna, his wonderful friend and guide. And that brought to his mind in how many ways I have belittled Krishna. I was thinking Krishna is just my friend and he's my cousin, he's my brother-in-law. We are also of the same age. How many ways I have tried to belittle him. Saghedi matva prasabham yaduktam. Hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Saghedi, ajanata mahimanam tabeda. Maya pramadat pranayena vapi. I never knew you are such a source of infinitude. I called you, hey Krishna, come on, let's go. Hey Yadava, hey Sakhi. In what all little terms I used to address this mighty being. Oh Krishna, yachavaha sartama salkratosi, vihara shayyasana bhojaneshu. Ego thavapyachyuda tat samaksham, talkshamaye tvamaham aprameyam. This aprameyam unit of yours, in what all ways I sat with you. I was lying down sometimes on your bed. Oh Krishna, I can't think of it. Please, please, please forgive me. Sri Krishna consoles him, and because he said, this Ugra Rupa, I cannot sustain this vision for long. Please withdraw. Krishna starts withdrawing it, and very soon comes to his normal Parthasarathi form, consoles Arjuna, but he adds one great advice. Arjuna, I have never shown to the world, to the universe, this form of mine. Sududarshamidham rupam, drishtavanasi yanmaya, deva apyasya rupasya, nityam darshana kamshina. Now we know how the atmospheric gallery was filled. Devaha api, even devas always wanted to see this gigantic form.
Network problem anisute.
Yeah, Mananiya Lakshmi Didi's line has got disconnected. She will be back with us soon. So in this beautiful lecture series, if you have any doubts, if you have any questions, you can ask at the end of the series. You can also type in the chat box.
Didi is there.
So Mananiya Lakshmi Didi is back.
Okay. Sorry, something happened. Naham vedairna tapasa, na danena na chejya, shakya evam vido drishtam, drishtavanasi mam yatha. So many rituals we do, we go to the temples, we do tirthayatras, we do so many dana dharma, but no. How is it possible to see him then? Bhaktya. This is the another gem he puts down. Bhaktya tvananyaya shakya aha evam vidhorjuna jnadam drashtam cha tattvena praveshtam cha parantapa. You can understand about me? Maybe you can see some form, you go to Guruvayur, like Narayana Bhattartiripad, Agre Pashyami, maybe you can see. You can enter into me, be one with me. For that, Bhaktya Tvananyaya Shakya. Absolutely pure surrendered bhakti. Nothing short of that. Not even an iota of I, not even an iota of aham, not even an iota of kartrutva, bhoktrutva bhava. Nothing should be there. Then you can straight enter into me. Mat karma krit mat parama, mat bhakta sangha varjita, nirvaira sarva bhuteshu, ya sa mameti pandava. You be. When I told you to become my nimitta, I told you to be my upadhi. How? How can you convert yourself into my upadhi mode? Mat karma krit. Do only my work. Don't have your work that I am doing. Do only my work. Nimitta matram. Do my work. Mad bhakta sangha varjit. Nissanga. Nissangatven chalatattva. Be nissanga. Nirmamo. Nirahankara. Nirvaira sarva bhuteshu. Krishna, whenever he gets a chance, he emphasizes this point. Sarva bhuteshu. See, understand that. That is where we are all failing. Our failure is we fail to understand that iota of divinity which is present sarva bhuteshu. And that I am. So Arjuna is consoled to some extent. He has come back to his normal senses. And then what does he do? From the moment Arjuna surrendered to Sri Krishna and declared himself to be his disciple, Krishna was trying to expand his consciousness, to visualize the uniform universe with all that it holds as his family, and get rid of the foolish attachment he feels towards his earthly family connections. One by one, Sri Krishna untied the knots of his misunderstandings regarding life, death, work, relationships, true knowledge, nature of truth. Step by, we have seen it, and has finally, before bringing him to this door of Vishwarupa Darshana. Arjuna was theoretically absorbing all that Krishna was telling. So when he asked him to show in reality what he has in mind was just a laboratory demonstration. Just like we saw something our teacher teaches us, chemistry, physics, and takes us to the lab and showed oxygen and hydrogen mixing together. Arjuna thought it is as simple as that. All he expected of Krishna when he asked him, all he expected was a laboratory demonstration of the interrelatedness, interconnectedness, and interdependencies of the universal structure. In that way, he thought all his doubts and everything will be cleared. But what Krishna showed him was something stupendous. How the whole universe is charged by his power, his divinity. And that was a moment of revelation. With that total eradication of his ego. Remember in the very first chapter I said, Ratham sthapayam Arjuna. Arjuna is telling, Ratham sthapaya. Krishna, you stop my chariot in front of those. Let me see who are present to fight with me. The total eradication of the ego. Realization of the fact that the ego which he was holding is a 0-watt bulb. 0-watt bulb. He said, no light at all when compared to this Divi Surya Sahasrasya. Where is Divi Surya Sahasrasya? And Arjuna's 0-watt ego. Everything was demolished before the immensity of the creative power of the Lord Almighty. This realization was stunningly wholesome. In the fraction of a second, the realization dawned on Arjuna that his true relations are not these short-lived bodies in front, who had only very short time now. They are not my relatives at all. My real relatives are the universal controlling power under whose influence life eternal pulsates through every being. The ego, which was his sustaining power, till now just vanished, as also the doer, enjoyership, which were the pillars on which his ego was getting supported. That I am the doer, I will enjoy. The final admonition of Sri Krishna, that be an instrument to uphold dharma, pumped a new energy, a new vision, a new faith, sealing as never before the eternal relationship between Krishna and himself. That relationship, nimitta matram, that was a very new relationship. He never knew, hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Sakheti. All that he knew, he could understand. But this new relationship, nimitta matram, that was astounding. What are the lessons? Lessons which Yoga Darshana imparts to all of us. To lift our minds from the ephemeral to the eternal. We can sort of summarize. Otherwise, we have heard of this whole of Vishwarupa and we were so absorbed in it, we forgot. Our idea is not Vishwarupa. Our idea is how this Vishwarupa Darshana can be condensed into our Amrita families. So let us not forget where we start from. So let us try to summarize. What lessons do we learn from this Vishwarupa? The whole universe with all its units are interconnected, interrelated, and interdependent with the universal parasparya holding the whole together. That is the first lesson which we have to remember all the time. Secondly, the oneness of the macro family must be simulated in the micro family, which we consider as our own. So this expansive view, expansive understanding, all that we should try to bring into our, so the Panchapada, Yajna, etc. In whatever way we can, we have to elevate our micro family to the macro level, Veshti into the Samashti. As the whole universe is pervaded by one power in which knowledge, love, and action stand united, it should be our effort to make these three meaningful and fruitful in our lives through our knowledge. We have already given sufficient emphasis on what exactly is the knowledge. Kasmin Bhagavan Vijñāde Sarvamidam Vijñātam Bhavati. Knowledge of truth, knowledge, action, transforming our karma into karma yoga, bhakti, our emotions into bhakti yoga. So, knowledge, action, and love have to be properly integrated in our individual and family lives. There is no place for ego. Ego will never take you anywhere. I will do it. It is my opinion. I shall do it. You listen to me. How much of energy we waste every day in emphasizing this importance of this useless I. As the whole universe works as per the direct desire control of the cosmic mastermind, our kartrutva, bhoktritva have no part, or if at all it is infinitely small. Maybe our nitya naimittika karma. We get up, we take bath, etc. Probably those are the only places where I can, yes, I had my bath, I had my food. Even that Sri Ramakrishna never used to say. Again, to bring fulfillment, the best way is to convince ourselves we are only instruments in his hands. Nimitta matram bhava sabhyasaja. When I joined Vivekananda Kendra, Swami Chinmayandaji wrote me a beautiful, small but very beautiful letter in his own handwriting. In case you are feeling depressed or agitated, go and shut yourself up in a room and repeat to yourself the sloga of Krishna, emphasizing Nimitta Matram Bhava Sabhyasajin. You are only a Nimitta in the hands of the Almighty. All your depression will vanish. That was from that time onwards, this Nimitta Matram Bhava Sabhyasajin has become my watchword. Last but not the least, to achieve the oneness with the Supreme, we should acquire Ananya Bhakti. Bhaktiyatva Ananya. Krishna, at the end of each of his prabhashanas, he will put there one small question mark so that Arjuna will take up that and continue the dialogue. So, Bhaktya Tvananya, this absolutely beautiful and pure bhakti, Ananya Bhakti, no other chinta. All my attention is concentrated on that ultimate truth, maybe in the form of Krishna or Rama or Devi or Shiva. Bhaktya Tvananya. So that is the question mark which Krishna puts before Arjuna after he withdraws unto himself the beautiful form of this cosmic, gigantic cosmic form. We know some of these stanzas are so absolutely beautiful. The best thing is get by heart the whole of the 11th chapter. Otherwise, let us remember this Nimitta Matra. In our Jabamala, we can add this Nimitta Matram Bhavasabhyasaj. Let it be a call of Krishna to all of us. Whatever may be we are doing, the office or home or society or anywhere, Nimitta Matram Bhava. We are just the instrument in the hands of God. The great Kunjan Nambiar, who was the propounder of one of the dance forms, Ottantullal in Kerala, like Kathakali, it's a similar form, Ottantullal. His compositions are wonderful. He says we are all like the bommas, the dolls in the hands of the God. We will shake our hands, we will shake our feet, we will shake our head as per the pulling of the threads by that doll maker. Similarly, let us remember we are only nimittas. The chain of pulling us, our great friend, professor of Jyotish Shastra, he used to say, what we are praying here is only the thing which is already written. The Tirakkatha is already written. There, we are only enacting the part here. The story is already written. How we are going to act, everything is written and kept there. We are thinking that we are acting, we are doing this, we are doing this. So Vishwarupa Darsana should be able to eliminate from our mind not even an iota of ahambhava, kartrutva, bhoktrutva, feelings which will condense our mind. Thinking of Vishwarupa, let us expand, expand, and expand, and feel ourselves as a small little form, maybe part of a bead in an ornament which was there in the Vishwarupa, or a little instrument in his hand, something or other. Beautiful meditations which can have with this Vishwarupa idea. So, with this wonderful Vishwarupa Darshana, Arjuna lost all his ego, kartrutva, bhoktrutva, and Sishyas Teham Shadhimam Tvam Prapannam became fulfilled as he prostrated at Krishna's feet. And that is a great lesson we have to impart in our Amrita Parivar, so that ahambhava, kartrutva, bhoktrutva, all those get eliminated. Maybe not in such magnificent, universal way, but in our own small little ways, we can teach our children that we are all God's children. Everybody around is nothing but Bhagavan's creations, small little ways. We can bring this Vishwarupa into the minds of our younger generation. And that would be a great gift we give to ourselves and an offering we give to the Vishwarupa of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Hari Om.
Dhanyavad, Lakshmi Didi. It was a very wonderful vision of Sri Krishna. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. We could maybe take just one question because we are out of time. And in between also, through the week, as we are thinking about this, any kind of clarification that is required, please pass on the questions, and we will request Manija Lakshmi Didi to answer them.
One small question. Amma, I want to know a little more about avibhaktam vibhakteshu.
We may feel that it is divided, but it is not actually divided. See, for example, the water bodies, isn't it? There is a tank here, a river there, a rivulet there, a stream there, an ocean there. We may think, oh, I bathe in Ganga, oh, I bathe here. But it is all nothing but water. The Rumi saint used to say, to have the capacity to see the ocean in every drop, and every drop in the ocean. When we stand near Kanyakumari, we say, oh, this is Bay of Bengal on the eastern side, Arabian Sea on the western side, and Indian Ocean in front. But are they really like that? Is there any vibhakta, division among them? Do the water animals, aquatic animals, do they recognize, I belong to Bay of Bengal, where are you coming from? You are from Arabian Sea, get back to your place, show your passport, identity card, nothing like that. Water, water everywhere, isn't it? So, avibhaktam vibhakteshu. So we should know, when we look at the sea, we should know everything is really one. Only we make it separate as this, that.
Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Lakshmi Didi. So we will continue this churning of the ocean. We will continue this this capturing of the essence from the Bhagavad Gita. So for now, we will conclude this session. I request Pratima Akka to conclude with the prayer.
Join your hands with Namaskara Mudra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaः, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti.